Before I say anything, I have a few words from Winston Churchill. Hear this, young men and women everywhere, and proclaim it far and wide. The earth is yours, and the fullness thereof. Be kind, but be fierce. You are needed now more than ever before. Take up the mantle of change, for this is your time. See also, if not now, then when? If not you, then who? The original quote is if not me, then who? But I already know. Like, I am embodied. I mean, it's been like 11 days since you last see me. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm born again. I spent some time in the mountains, so I'm feeling good. I'm feeling alive with pleasure. This is something I posted on Tumblr recently. I said, out woke. Whatever that is. Out, dead. Cancel. I know I said cancel culture is canceled, but we can just go ahead and cancel woke. Okay, alive with pleasure is what we are about. And I have spent the last year pretty much like back in my little tiny hometown. And this past weekend, me and my little cousin, we went back to the city where I used to live, and the city missed me. I can say that much. I don't know if I missed the city. We went to Banff. I can't remember if I just said that, but yeah, it was a really nice weekend. And I intended to film a video to talk to you about things before that happened. And I don't know, I was just so busy that I didn't have time. So here I am. And I'm really glad actually that I didn't record a video earlier, because so much has happened over this weekend that I just feel like I have like completely new perspective on like so many different things. And I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna like journey you through my weekend, but overall, like, what I'm hoping the message of this video will be is like, are you really depressed? This is coming from a woman with bipolar, okay, mind you, and I have struggled with, I'm gonna put depression in quotes but I'm gonna put depression in quotes because it is like when I struggled with depression before is what I was trying to say. Okay, so when I was depressed, I was not taking care of myself in the way that I do now. I was more committed to being depressed than I was to being alive with pleasure. So again, like, I'm willing to, like, I'm just gonna come out and say it right now. I know not a lot of people are gonna want to hear what I have to say. A lot of you are not going to want to hear this, okay? But it is truth, and it has to be said. Like, we have to start taking accountability, okay? So, are you actually depressed, or are you simply enabling yourself to become sedentary? Sedentary means to be seated most of the time. To become sedentary of body, mind, and spirit. And if one of those three is sedentary, it is a trifold, okay? So if you are sedentary of body, if you are not getting for me, it's 10,000 steps. This past weekend, I did freaking 15,000 steps minimum every single day. And I didn't even take my Vyvanse. Like, I usually, I have like the benefit of like, okay, I have stimulants to kind of like get me going, keep me focused. But like, no, the past 2 days I've not taken any of that. I'm coming to you like pure, raw, like from the heart, like just like I have Gaia flowing through me right now. You know what I mean? Like, I've spent so much time out with Mother Earth that it's like we are interlinked. Okay, she is speaking to me. So I think a lot of us, like, we need to take accountability for the role that we are playing in our own suffering. And this, again, is coming from someone who has done this. I have walked this path. I am giving you advice for free. You could spend hundreds of dollars on therapy, and a therapist would never tell you what I'm going to tell you, because that is all part of the business of human suffering. I'll probably make a video actually, I do want to make a video talking about mental health at some point, like, and how that plays into the business of human suffering. But like, those things are all a business. And I'm not saying every therapist is bad by any means, but I'm just saying, like, all the tools you need to become the person you want to be exist within you. You don't need a gym membership to get the body of your dreams. You know how I did it? I have been walking 10,000 steps a day for 65 days straight. And people want to tell me, literally, so the person who, if you watch my last video, like the business of human suffering, like talking about war, I read a few messages, like anonymous hate or whatever. I've since turned anonymous off on my blog because, like, this person, I triggered a very big tower moment within them, and they just came at me for I'm gonna say 40 days and 40 nights. That's not true, but it was about 3 days where this person, I have not scrolled on Tumblr in over a week. I don't know what anyone is doing. I'm just in my own little bubble. I go in there and I post my own shit because that's all I care about. Like, you know what I mean? Like, unless someone is like engaging with my content and like fighting the war on fear with me, like, I don't really have time to just like scroll like mindlessly, you know? Like, that used to take up so much of my time. And that is part of like enabling yourself to be depressed. But anyways, so like what I'm basically trying to say is like people, like, they want to make their lack of self-love and their lack of self-control. I've made a video about this. You cannot make your lack of self-control my problem. Your lack of self-love, that cannot be my problem. Your lack of confidence, your lack of commitment to being alive with pleasure can't be my problem. And that's really society right now. They just want to be treated like a bunch of little babies, you guys. Like, that's why we have declining birth rates, because people don't have like the ability, I guess, like the patience to go inside and understand themselves, so then they don't think that they have it in them to like parent other people. And like, I mean, yeah, that's probably like, you know, the universe is kind of putting a stop to it, because it's like we don't need more children that are like born into like to people who aren't healed. We need children that are born to people who are healed and can like support those children in being the people they need to be for like tomorrow, for the future. You guys are forgetting that they're like, everyone is acting like Earth is gonna die tomorrow. Earth is 65 million years old, probably older than that. You know what I mean? Like, I was out in a canyon. Let me see if I'll show you guys photos from the hike that I did, Johnston Canyon. I've done that hike 3 times. It is near Banff. It is one of my favorites, but I'm out there like touching the trees. Like, oh my gosh, we stopped in Banff. First of all, loved this statue of like an indigenous elder, where like just out there. God, this is gonna be like terrible quality. But yeah, so I'm just saying, like, you know, like, actually, like, people, like, they think they know so much about the earth, right? They can tell you so much about Mother Earth, right? But a lot of these people that are out here, like, fear-mongering and being like, the planet is dying, blah, blah, blah. Those are the people that spend their entire life sitting behind a screen, living in fear. They're not out there in their communities, like, walking around, talking to people, like, spreading positivity, because that is how we save Mother Earth. If you're just sitting there living in fear, then, like, you're just enabling the system. You're enabling the business of human suffering. It is so easy to do that. And if you are living unconsciously, that is exactly what you are doing. But as soon as you become conscious and you realize that you're giving your power away, like how I was saying earlier, let me try and finish that thought. Okay, so like I haven't scrolled on Tumblr in God knows how long, right? And so whoever like I upset with like me just speaking truth, like they were coming to my blog for 3 days straight trying to fight with me. And because they were playing the victim, I admittedly was mean to them, because it was like taking candy from a baby. Because if you want to play the victim, of course I'm going to laugh at you. If you want to have a temper tantrum, I'm going to laugh at you. So you realize that you are in your 20s, but you are acting like a baby. Like, if you are interacting with another adult and they are very triggered and like angry or just whatever, it's like, if we can all start to see each other as just like children. Like, I see this with hypersexuality a lot, and I have a lot to say on this topic, okay? But one thing I said on Tumblr recently, I was like, you know, like, some of you, like, the reason why you hate and are negative so much, like, it's because those are the only aspects of your personality that you've developed. Like, you don't really like challenge yourself outside of that. Or like it serves your ego. Like, maybe you've like built a platform off of being like a negative, hateful person, so then you're like, oh, like, I'm benefiting off of this, I don't need to change. But it's like the world is suffering because of your shitty attitude. But then also I think like a lot of women fall into the trap. Like, this happened to me, absolutely. Like, young women, they might not have like emotionally stable or mature adults in their life, right? And then so from a young age, we're taught like sex sells, right? And then so young women, it's like then you start acting older than you are, so that you can hopefully like attract a man who can make you feel like safe and protected or whatever, right? And like a lot of grown women that we see like doing the whole like hypersexual type thing, and I have been there, 100% been there, and it's like I have evolved out of that, right? But so this is not coming from a place of judgment. This is coming from a place of like knowledge, like real like experience, okay? So a lot of women don't grow out of that wounded little girl who is looking for like a man to make them feel safe or whatever, right? So if, because I don't feel like women are going to resonate with my messaging right now. I mean, if you're here and you're a woman, like, please let me know. I appreciate you. Like, literally let me know what you were learning from me, or like just what things you're learning in your own journey. But like, men, if you are a man and you were watching this, like, what I feel like needs to be done is like, stop consuming the hypersexual content. Like, if you find like you're scrolling on a certain social media site and you're seeing all these like hourglass figures and tickle bitties and whatever, and it's just like triggering you to want to like jerk off, you know what I mean? Like, so if you see the show Big Mouth on Netflix, like, just imagine, like, be like, is this really me right now, or is this my hormone monster? Because some of you have Marty running the show, and that man is not doing you any favors. Like, let me fucking tell you. So men, like, if you see a woman, like, this is what the man that I really intend to settle down with, like, did for me. Like, you know, he saw me doing what I was doing and basically said to me, like, you're better than that. You know, and like, I think he was like on some level like fearful to say those things to me because he didn't want to come from a place of like trying to control me, but it was just like he saw what I am capable of and what I can do in this world, and I needed to hear that. Right? So then it's like, you need to be that for yourself. Like, just be like, I am better than this. I am better than giving so much of my life force energy away or whatever. Because men, so like, if you see, so okay, going back, like, let's say you see a woman that you really admire, or like, you know, you think she's really hot and sexy and whatever, but like, you think that she has something to offer the world beyond that. Stop interacting with like her hypersexual content, you know what I mean? Or like, try and like engage her in conversations like outside of that. Like, allow women to kind of explore these sides of themselves and like give them a safe space like to be intellectuals. Because like, I didn't have that when I was younger, so I dumbed myself down because I was like, I would like to settle down with a man, but I shouldn't have to dumb myself down to like settle down with a man. But okay, I'm kind of going in circles right now. Let me try and refocus. So the reason why I'm saying I have a lot to say about hypersexualization is because, so when I was younger, it was like, I was 17 years old when I moved out of my hometown and I moved to like the big city, right? And at that point in time, like, I felt like I was like, okay, I'm moving from a city of like 65,000 people to like 1,000,000 plus people. Like, you know, there's gonna be so many different people there. Like, my hope, like, I really cared a lot about male validation. I cared so much about what other people thought of me, and just like, I got a lot of security, you know, like from how attractive other people might find me and stuff like that, or just like being like hot and sexy or whatever, you know, just like stuff like that. And so when I moved to the city, like, my hope was like, okay, like, you know, like, I don't even know, like, if I wanted to settle down or if I just wanted a lot of attention or whatever. But yeah, so I did the damn thing. I think, like, I lost my, we're gonna get really candid here, okay? I lost my virginity when I was 17 years old, and then after that I was just bam. Like, I didn't even, like, I was a really smart person, but like, I was going to school for journalism, and mind you, that's like the field I work in now. But it's like, I just wasn't caring about school. I wasn't taking myself seriously because I was so focused on being sexy and being hot and like getting that like validation or whatever in those ways. And then because of that, I ended up getting myself in, like, I fucked around and found out. You know, so it's like I've talked about before, like, I was sexually assaulted when I was 20 years old by multiple men at the same time. And so, you know, like, I have accepted that, like, even though I went to the police, I did everything I could on my end, like, I'm probably never going to get like legal justice for that, okay? So it's like, I have accepted that. But so part of my healing process has been like coming to the understanding of like, although I did not ask for those things to happen to me, and I absolutely did not deserve them, like, I was basically a child. I was putting myself in situations where bad things could happen to me because I was more committed to being hot and being sexy and like having fun in the moment and like feeding my ego than I was to thinking long term, than I was to like planting seeds for future me, than I was to being like the best version of myself. And I was stuck in the realm of hungry ghosts because of that, chasing my own tail in a circle, like just going in loops. And again, like, then I hit like that crazy rock bottom like that. And so, you know, like, it took me a while to kind of like learn the lesson of like, girl, like, just slow down. Like, okay, clearly like the way you're living is not a way you should be living. Like, I tried to squish myself back into my old life for so long, and it just like, it wasn't working. So again, like, well, I don't know if I've said this in this video, but I'm coming up on in October, I'll have been celibate for 2 years. I mean, if I have a theory, I'm gonna end up getting married on August 8th. We'll see what happens. But if I don't get married on August 8th, then come October, 2 years of celibacy. I'm only 26 years old. I look the best I've ever looked. I am like, you know, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. And I have no sex life whatsoever. And I don't feel any shame about that. Like, you know, like, it's just like, it's a personal choice. But, you know, like, so through going, like, through that, like, making that decision, like, it's enabled me to, like, have all these realizations and, like, come to this point of maturity where it's like, I really respect my body. Like, it is like a sacred vessel, you know, like, I am a very, like, and all of you can feel this way about yourself. Me saying these things about myself, it does not take away from who you are as an individual. It's just like me expressing this about myself. Like, my hope is kind of that it might inspire you to take another look at how you feel about yourself, because I used to feel like I wasn't worth anything if people outside of me weren't validating me. But you can just, like, be worthy. You can just be a person who deserves good things because you wake up and decide that for yourself. So anyways, okay, so again, coming up on 2 years of celibacy, I'm over 3 years sober. So my cousin and I, we go to the city on Friday. So we drive there on Friday, and I have not been to the club since 2023. The last time I went to the club, I was in Toronto visiting my friends, whatever. I had so much fun. I love just, like, dancing and, like, throwing ass and, like, putting on a cute little dress and just, like, looking cute, whatever. And when I was younger, when I would go out, like, I drank a lot. And, like, to me, it was, like, you know, if you don't find someone, like, to go home with, or you don't get enough, like, male attention, like, it's, like, what was the point of even going out or whatever? But then now, since, like, I've just, like, evolved so much in my life, like, I don't care. Like, I don't even want men to, like, like, if you touch me, like, I'm gonna roundhouse kick you in the nuts. Like, 10 feet away. Mind your damn business. Just because I look good does not mean I'm for you. Okay, so I've come to, like, a much more, like, mature place when it comes to stuff like that. But still, like, so my cousin and I, she had never been to the club before. And so we go out Friday night and we took the train, like, downtown. And again, like, I wasn't drinking, like, we smoked weed, whatever, but, like, I'm high right now and I'm, like, a perfectly functioning human being. So anyways, okay, so on the train, just wearing a cute little dress, some little boots, whatever. And, like, I knew I looked good, but I wasn't looking for external attention. Like, I just wanted to wear a cute outfit because, like, I have nowhere to wear half of my clothes in my hometown, you know, because people would look at me like, who the fuck does she think she is? So anyways, so we're on the train and, like, I am, like, this is the city, like, the city that we're visiting. This is the place where I was sexually assaulted, like, 6 years ago. I used to live there. I lived there for, like, 2 years before I moved back to my hometown. And so, yeah, we're, like, on the train, and, like, me and my cousin were just, like, being silly goofy. She's, like, 6 years younger than me, so she's, like, 20. But anyways, yeah, like, having a good time. The vibes are good. I feel totally relaxed. You know what I mean? There's quite a few people on the train, and then all of a sudden, a woman comes over to me, and she, like, said something, and I thought she was, like, asking me to move out of the way. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then she said something about a picture, and then I thought she was asking to, like, take a picture of me, and then she was like, no, like, someone took a picture of you. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, who took a picture of me? And then I turn around and there's, like, we were kind of standing in the middle of the train, and there was, like, a row of men, like, sitting along the back, and one of the most disgusting, ugly motherfuckers I have ever seen in my life. Like, just, like, a fat, ugly motherfucker, okay? Ugly. This man, while my back was turned, stuck his phone under my dress and took a photo for everyone to see. Multiple people on this train car saw this go down. And this woman was the only person kind enough to tell me. But she initially, what kind of pissed me off, she's like, yeah, so just be careful. I was like, well, which one was it? And she's like, oh, I don't want to cause any trouble. I'm like, you can't tell me that someone took a photo of my dress and then not tell me who it was. Like, that doesn't make any sense now, does it? And then so she told me which one it was. And so I turn around, and this man had to have been about 50. My dad's age, easy, if not older. So I'm glaring at this man, like, just eyeing him down. He's refusing to look up from his phone because I think he knew that she came over to tell me. And so I'm glaring. And then finally he looks up. We make eye contact, and then he looks down right away. And then eventually when he looks up again, I'm like, excuse me, sir. I'm like, if you took a picture of me, I need you to delete it. Do you know what this man does? He pretends he doesn't speak English. And he doesn't even deny that he took the picture. He just says, I don't understand. I was so... And there were multiple men on this train cart. No one is doing anything. No one is, like, stepping into... I'm like, you guys are all fucking pussies. They're all just kind of watching me, seeing what I'm gonna do. And so I just look at this man and I'm like, have the night you deserve. I'm like, if you took a picture of me, please delete it. And then the girl was like with her boyfriend or whatever, like, and they were sitting right beside him, and they literally watched him delete this photo of my fucking ass. But just so, and so I think, so going back to hypersexualization, okay, I think the reason why stuff like this is happening and why it's so like normalized is because you go online and everything is freaking smexual. Everyone, like, it's more, people are more comfortable posting their perchinas online than they are talking about their feelings. And this is coming from a girl. Like, I used to do that, okay? And like, but I've always been comfortable talking about my feelings is the thing. You know what I mean? Like, I could always tell you exactly how I'm feeling and like get really emotional with you and all of that. But they're, what I call Attack of the Clones is like all the girls who are just like out here like hypersexualizing themselves, and like they contain, there's nothing else to them than that. Like, they are robots. And that is why like men, I think, kind of like why there's the whole AI girlfriend thing now or whatever, because like women, we can't always be perfect. Like, real women, we menstruate, we get hairy, we do, and not saying like any of these things are unattractive, but it's just like, you know, these are things that like as a woman you might be like, oh, I don't want to have sex today because I'm on my period. And then I think among women, like that might create a fear, like, oh my god, if I don't want to have sex every single day, or like if I don't always look sexy, then my boyfriend can log on to Google and get himself an AI fuck doll. Like, the Gooner's disease, it has taken over. It is bad. It is bad, okay? And like, so another thing too, so I knew I looked good, right? But like, again, I didn't care about like getting attention. But when I was younger, like, I would try so hard to be sexy, and I cared so much about that attention, right? And like, I felt like I was always like fighting for it, like there was never enough. And then this weekend, like Friday night, we're walking around, I can't tell you how many men are fucking hanging out their car windows yelling at me like they've never seen a woman before. I'm like, we are in a city of 1 million people, and it's just because everyone in that city is a fucking plain Jane. Like, very few people have original style, and I look different. I am myself, and I have great energy because I've been celibate and sober for so long, and I walk 10,000 steps a day. So that's the secret, ladies. Caring about yourself if you really want male attention. But then we go to the club, and we just, yeah, we're like dancing, throwing ass, whatever. But while we're like waiting to get in the club, like, you know, you like show the bouncer your like ID, whatever. This bouncer, he took way too long looking at my ID. I got a new picture this year. I know it looks good, but anyways, this man's like scanning my ID, like whatever. And I thought he said to me like, you look hot, or like, you're really hot or whatever. And I was just like, okay, like, all right. And I kept walking, and then afterwards I asked my cousin, I was like, did you hear that? Like, did that man tell me I'm really hot? Like, I've never had a bouncer like say that to me before. And she was like, yeah, I thought he said that. And yeah, just like, it's just male validation. Now that I don't care about it, it just flows to me so easily. Like, it's just like, it's whatever, and you know, it means nothing to me, because I'm just like, well, how many of these men that are like, you know, like that creep, that old creep that fucking took a picture of my skirt, like, you couldn't even just like say to me like, hey, like, you look really pretty, you know? Like, men have forgotten the art of how to talk to women. It's really sad, and I'm not blaming men for everything, you know what I mean, because women have fault in this too. Like, it is just because things have become so distorted. And but what gave me hope at the end of the night, something really nice, after we left Commonwealth, me and my cousin, we were taking a cab back to the train station so I could drive us home, and our cab driver, I didn't even see this man's face, whatever, we just kind of like sparked up a conversation, and we told him like we were visiting from Medicine Hat, like that's our hometown or whatever. And he was originally from India, but he said like when he first moved to India, like he moved to Medicine Hat before he moved to Calgary, which is like the bigger city we were visiting. And we had like a really nice conversation. Like, I'm the kind of person, I can talk to anyone about anything, like that's just how I am. And so we got on to like spirituality, and like, I don't know, we were talking about like multiculturalism, because like Medicine Hat, like literally when I was growing up, it was like 95% white, and now it's like, it's a very diverse area. Like, it's evolved a lot over like the years. But anyway, so yeah, we're talking about that, and then we're talking about like different religions and stuff, and this man asked me, he's like, do you know Shiva? I almost screamed. I was like, I've been channeling Shakti and Shiva so much lately, because what Shiva has told me is that men don't need women who love them, okay? Because a woman can love a man until she is blue in the face, and that is doing nothing but servicing her ego, really. Men need women who feel good about themselves and feel good about life, so that they can raise children who feel good about themselves and feel good about life, and so that men can be inspired to feel good about themselves and feel good about life. That is just your mission. That is how you combat depression, feeling good about yourself and feeling good about life. And the thing is, like, so something I heard in my head the other day too is like the Matrix is helpful if you think about it as like anything that provides the illusion of the easy way out. And because there are so many like easy ways out right now, that's why so many people are depressed, because they're stuck in the Matrix, right? Like they're not actually seeing where they have power in situations. So like instead, like if you don't feel good about your body, instead of committing to walking like 10,000 steps a day, or just like pick a number that challenges your body, people would rather work 30 days straight to have enough money to go get a BBL, to go get plastic surgery, to go get fucking Botox or whatever, than just like seeing what they are capable of doing themselves with their God-given vessels. People do not give a fuck about themselves. People are sloppy. People are ridiculous. People are literally like, so much of what people are doing is just because their hormone monsters have control, because their nervous systems are dysregulated. Like if you feel the need to, like after a work week, if you feel the need to go to like an orgy or like do a line and like all these crazy things, like that is not you. That is your hormone monster or your ego. And they are keeping you in the realm of hungry ghosts, where you are searching and searching and searching and searching and searching for validation outside of you. And that will never, ever, 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 ever give you what you need to become the person that you are here to be. Like it might give you what you want eventually at one point, you know, like maybe you get like your 15 minutes of fame because like it's something you post online goes viral or whatever. But then you're just going to be continuing to like chase that high. Whereas like me, ever since I've kind of turned my efforts, like sometimes it gets frustrating for me that like, you know, I post so much like great information on Tumblr and like people aren't really engaging with it, you know what I mean? I'm kind of like, why am I even fucking wasting my time with this? But like now it's like the things that kind of like make me feel good about myself, or it's like I have a 10,071 day streak on Duolingo. I have been walking, again, 10,000 steps a day for 65 days straight. People can't commit to that. People are lazy. People are sedentary of body, mind, and spirit because they are too lazy to move their bodies. And they care more about like how they look on social media than they do, or like how they might look in a picture someone might take, than they just care about like how they are, like how they look out living, how their life actually looks. Like, let me turn this light on because it's getting kind of dark. That's something the cab driver and I were also talking about when we were talking about like Shakti and Shiva and whatever. And then I also brought up Terry Fox, which obviously is someone I've been channeling for months now. And Terry is like a big part of the reason why I go out walking every day. Like I literally tell myself, like there's been maybe 2 or 3 days throughout this process where like I felt kind of like tired or like, like I don't know, like can I really do this today? But then I think about it, I'm like, Terry literally lost his leg and he was out there doing a marathon, like 26 miles, which is like double, triple what I'm doing. And he did that, you know, and it just like, it was so fulfilling for him. And I think he said, he's like, I didn't know what else to do. So I just went out there and started walking. And that's kind of how I feel too, you know, like you don't need a gym membership to change your body. Walking is the simplest thing you can do. And not every single human is lucky enough to like have use of their body in that way. So like if you have a body and you are not using it, if you are not challenging it, if you are just letting it turn into goo because you are becoming sedentary, I have no sympathy for you. I'm sorry, you were holding up the prayer line. I don't have it in me to feel bad for people who are keeping themselves stuck anymore. It's like, it is a choice. It is a choice, okay? And again, this is coming from someone who, like, I have been around the block. It took me 10 years to get diagnosed with bipolar. And then finally, like, my psychiatrist, Dr. Voodoo, he is the one who gave me, like, a wellness tracker that like I put everyone I love onto it. It has like 10 different things. I've talked about this in so many different videos of things. I sent it to King Henry. And I'm going to read them to you right now. And these are all free things that you can do every single day. If you feel depressed, okay, and you feel like you want to go get like a prescription or you need some sort of medication, I've been medicated before. I took lithium for like 2 years. I still have a Vyvanse prescription. I've never taken antidepressants. But before you put yourself on medication, before you go get a BBL, before you do something crazy, just try these 10 things daily if you can. Even if you can't do all 10 of them every single day, that's okay. Just just try to do these things as often as you can. Number 1, spirituality, prayer. Whatever that means to you, whoever your God is, whatever. Praying can be just sitting outside and looking at the stars. Praying can be writing in your diary, you know? Praying is pretty much just asking for information, asking for clarity, giving your worries and your burdens to God, lightening your load, okay? Just that connection with your maker. Exercise. Challenge your body in some way. So for me personally, like I understand, like I've been in places in life where it's like I've had multiple jobs at a time, I've been going to school, whatever. So now, like, I've set my life up in a way, like, I have a lot of freedom, so I'm fortunate. I do have an hour and a half every day where I can go get my 10,000 steps. That's about how long it takes me. If you don't have that, then I'm sure that there's time in your day when you are doom scrolling. If you are depressed, I can almost guarantee there is a chunk of your day when you are doom scrolling. So how about you tell yourself, no doom scrolling on the couch. No doom scrolling while sedentary. I can only doom scroll if I am like on the treadmill or like on a walk or whatever. You know what I mean? And like then you have to be really fucking careful too. Like don't just be walking out there with your phone in your face like a fucking idiot. But I'm just saying, like, you know, like sometimes, like I used to do that more. Like when I started walking, I found myself like scrolling on my phone. But now like half the time I just throw my phone in my little like bag or whatever and like go on my merry way. And I'll like check it every like so often to see how many steps I have. But yeah, just find a form of exercise that challenges your body that you can commit to on a regular basis, okay? Nutrition. I'm not perfect at this by any means. But I can attest to the fact that like when I am eating, say, like an excess amount of sugar, then like, yeah, it's like my energy is kind of more so like on a roller coaster. Or like I used to like deal with binge eating a lot because I think it would kind of like give me that like euphoric high or whatever. Or like you're just trying to like fill a void sometimes, I think. But like a big part of it is like awareness. Like if you catch yourself doing something like that, just be like, okay, like why am I doing this? Like what void am I trying to fill? And what can I use to fill it that like isn't actually harming me and like making me sick? And then also just notice how like certain things make you feel or whatever. So like, for example, like I love dairy, but like if I eat like a fuck ton of it in one day, then like I get like a lot of inflammation or whatever, like in like my midsection from like a cyst on my ovary and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I just feel like, yeah, if I like eat a lot of dairy, then like I know I'm gonna be like dealing with more inflammation. Right? So just kind of like, I don't count calories by any means, but I just kind of like observe how different things make me feel. And I use that knowledge. Like your body is always giving you data, right? So just use that data to the best of your ability. Number 4 is active relaxation. So again, not doom scrolling yourself into a puddle of goo on the fucking couch. So Dr. Budu suggests things like meditation, yoga, tai chi, or qigong. I don't know what that is, but whatever works for you. Civilize the mind and make savage the body. That is my motto. Recreation. Fun, okay? And none of that like crazy, like fun is not beating your meat for 3 hours, okay? Fun is not getting blackout drunk. I've noticed like so many people in my community, like let's just say like I go to the dispensary, I go to the pharmacy, whatever, like if someone is like working and they're obviously stressed out, like I'll always tell them like, hey, like make sure you do something nice to yourself or whatever, and 9 times out of 10 they'll tell me like, oh, I'm gonna go get a bottle of wine after work. What is that doing for future you? Nothing. You know, like you're just lazy. Okay. Sleep 8 hours. I also am not perfect at this one, but I just kind of like, I know what my body needs. You know what I mean? Like, so in the summer, as a bipolar person, I experience a bit more mania. So like I need a bit less sleep, but also like because I'm walking a lot more, then sometimes I do need more sleep. Or like if I'm out in the sun and I got heat stroke a few times, like back in April, I needed a lot of sleep then, you know? So just kind of like making sure you are getting like enough rest, and don't stay up doom scrolling yourself into depression, and then you wonder why you feel like shit the next day, because look at all the stuff you're planting in your subconscious before you go to bed, which is like when your brain is like the most potent. Like that's when you should be like, I love Pinterest. If I'm gonna scroll late at night, scrolling on Pinterest, then I'm like planning my dream life. And then you're waking up excited about life. But if you're freaking doom scrolling and reading about like the 1700 wars happening on our planet before bed, then of course you're going to wake up and be ready for war. And not the war on fear either, the freaking war on yourself. Like you're losing that badly. Laughter. Tough times out there. The people need laughs. I'm trying to provide them, okay? Like I keep it real with you guys. And I am a pretty funny person. So I try to like spread a little bit of joy and like be silly goofy and whatever. Something I said the other day that I thought was really good. Some people are so afraid to look a little bit silly goofy that they end up looking fucking ridiculous. I used to be this way, okay? So I think about it now, like something that I would consider like a fun night would be like, like playing some board games, like eating popcorn, like laughing, like good connection, good conversation. But when I was like 19, I was like seeing this guy or whatever, and I was just like, I was so like, oh my god, I want to make this man my boyfriend. Like I was just very desperate to like have a boyfriend and like be like established as like a person that was like in a relationship or whatever, right? And so one time, I don't know, we were like driving around or something, and we passed like a board game cafe, and he was like, oh, like we should go there sometime. And I literally like laughed at this man, because all I thought was fun back then was like blacking out and like getting drunk and like performing like performative, like, oh, I have to get back on the track of of things I saw this weekend after I read this, the last things on this list, because yeah, a lot of what humans are doing right now, it's like they've forgotten the art of being human and they're just performing as sloppy babies. Social activities. And that's not just scrolling on your phone, okay? Like, I'm sorry. Like, yes, the phone is a great tool, okay? But put it down. Please put it down sometimes. And go talk to people in your community, because the people in your community are more interesting than you might think. Because I'm not saying globalization is ruining us, but I'm just saying, like, if all your friends are in the phone, you need to log off. You have lost context, okay? Like, get some friends in real life, please. Gratitude. 3 things you're grateful for right now. Leave them in the comments. If you've made it to this point, please, I would love to know. 3 things I'm grateful for. My little cousin. Love her so much. We had a fantastic weekend. She is the best. Canada Day. Canada itself. I am grateful for the land that holds me. I am grateful to be Canadian. I am grateful to be Indigenous. I am grateful to be alive with pleasure. 3rd thing. All the yummy food I ate this weekend. I had Koryo Korean barbecue. I had Made by Marcus ice cream, lemon blueberry. One thing that I thought was crazy, we went to Boston Pizza when we were in Banff, and I got a Diet Coke with my meal. It was $4.50. I was like, what? Yeah, crazy times we're living in. I thought that was interesting. But anyways, yeah, tell me 3 things you're grateful for. Music. And like, so many people love to listen to music that depresses them. Like, you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm a little bit emotional today. Let me put on my saddest song. Stop! Listen to some Britney Spears. Shake your little fat butt. Shake your big fat butt. I don't care. Just listen to some like fucking house music. Like, oh my god, like actually it was so healing for me, like at the club. So what I love about Commonwealth, that's like this bar in Calgary I used to go to when I was like 18 or 19. So they have like 2 floors, and like when we went on Friday, it was like upstairs was like hip hop music. They're playing way too much Sexy Red. I was literally yelling, I'm like, play something from 2017! And then they put on too much Fetty Wap. And they had, like, big screens in there. They were playing, like, a Kai Cenat, whatever his name is, like, stream. They had, like, Shrek videos. I was like, what is the club these days? Like, I don't know. It wasn't like this when I was younger. And then downstairs, they had, like, house music. And, yeah, it was just so much fun. I loved throwing ass. There were some weirdos that were trying to, like, be a little creepy, but I set a lot of boundaries. I kept me and my cousin safe. It was good. So anyways, yeah, we did the cab ride home, and we had like that nice conversation. And again, so me and the man in the cab, I didn't even get his name, didn't even see what his face looked like, but it was just like we had a really deep, authentic conversation, and we were speaking like to one another from the heart, and that meant more to me than a single compliment I got all weekend, and I got a lot. Okay, so just like, don't forget the art of like genuine, see, my throat chakra is like I just, my allergies are crazy too. But anyways, don't forget the art of conversation, okay? Don't forget the art of, like, human connection and just, like, one-on-one interactions, whatever. Saturday, we drove to Banff, and we went to Johnson Canyon, and, yeah, did the hike, whatever. So, I cannot tell you how many people were on this hike, and someone's looking at me like I'm crazy. Anyways, they were wearing their Sunday best. There were people on this hike. This is not an easy hike by any means. In flip-flops. Performative. Like, I'm like, are you here to move your body to enjoy being in Mother Earth? Or are you here to, like, suffer and have a bad time? Because that can't be comfortable. You can't respect yourself if you're hiking in jeans right now. Like, be fucking for real. Like, sorry, I know this is coming across a little bit judgmental, but it's like, you know, we're out in nature, and just like there were probably like 10,000 people there, let me say, okay? And I want to say probably 65% of them were overweight and, like, not dressed appropriately for the occasion. None of them really looked happy. There were a lot of people complaining. I'm like, what? Like, where is your spirit? Where, like, huh? Even before we freaking left on Friday, I went to the dollar store. I'm just looking around. I was just buying razors, but everyone in there is so misshapen and pale and distorted. Like, I talk about, like, in the realm of hungry ghosts a lot, and I'm like, damn, like, I can just pick it up off someone. Like, as soon as I see them, I'm like, when's the last time you took a little time for yourself? When's the last time you did something nice for yourself? Like, because, like, I'm very curious, like, how many people, like, look the way they look, or, like, are depressed, or, like, you know, like, just in this, like, state of, like, being overweight and being, like, not in, like, prime condition because they are giving so much of themselves to, like, other people. When it's like, you need to be a bit more selfish. You need to rein it in, mama. Like, come on, let's go. Like, Garrett, come back home. Because you can give more when you give yourself more. You need to be selfish. But anyways, okay, hike was awesome. Diet Pepsi was overpriced. Oh, I got a really cool shirt too. It says "May the Forest be with you," and it has a bunch of creatures on it, like in, like, Star Wars characters. Also, on Friday, I went to Bass Pro Shops for the first time. That was a very magical experience. I bought a little fox stuffy. I bought 2 teddy bears this weekend. So yeah, that's my fox friend. I think I will get a fox tattoo eventually. Very connected to those. And I saw the fox in my neighborhood a few days ago too. Okay, so anyways, that was Saturday. And then, oh my god, me and Emma, we had so much fun. We just sat on, like, a bench, and we were smoking a blunt. It was called, like, strawberry cough liquid. And so our dads are brothers, right? And I think her dad is, like, a few years older than mine. But anyways, I was telling her about how my dad was telling me, like, when they were younger, they had, like, a pet dog or whatever. And Emma looks at me, she's like, my dad has never said anything about a pet. I just think it's so funny how, like, I guess, I don't know, you don't realize how, like, different parts of childhood, like, mean different things to different people. But anyways, yeah, and then today we watched Despicable Me last night, and that's a really good movie, actually, about, like, Gru is a great example of a man who is healing his feminine energy, and, like, the reason why he has that feminine wound is because he has the mother wound. Like, his mom is a hater, okay, and that's because I don't think Gru's mom likes herself very much. And that's usually the problem. Like, if your parents were, like, not great parents, it's probably because they were never taught to feel good about themselves and feel good about life. That's what the next generation, the tomorrow people, that's what they're all going to be about. Feeling good about themselves, feeling good about life. And it's going to trigger the fuck out of anyone who, like, hasn't done the work. But I don't care. I'm here for it. I am excited to see what the young people have to offer. I have, if I'm being honest, I have a lot more hope for future people than I do for people my age right now. Because it's tough times out here. That's actually kind of what I want to do in the future. My vision, this has all come to me recently. I would really like to go to, like, reserves across Canada and establish, like, mentorship programs. Just really teach them about the power of mentorship. And, you know, it could be like people my age, like 26, hanging out with, like, people Emma's age, like 20. And then, like, you know, like, even younger. Like, when I was 16, I used to mentor, like, I volunteered in high school with, like, 7 and 8 year olds. It We would just like do crafts and whatever. But it's mentorship is crucial in a new earth. Okay, very important. And like even elders mentoring like 50-year-olds and stuff. Like I just think it's such a beautiful thing, and I think that is how I am going to help change the world. And we went to the zoo, okay, and this is kind of the animals at the zoo. Girl, first of all, it was $50 to get in there. That was crazy. $14 for parking on stolen land. I just feel like Indigenous people shouldn't have to pay for parking. You know what I mean? Like, give me a pass or something. Like, come on. But like, so if you've ever been to a zoo, you might notice the animals are not always looking so happy, okay? Like believe it or not, probably the most like exciting animals we saw there was a turtle. Boy, could that thing move. But most of the other things, they were just standing there. I have to show you this monkey. It almost made me cry how sad this monkey looked. And there was birds too, pelicans or whatever. Like the ones, look how sad he looks. There was like 4 of them in there. And they were all, look at this guy. Not having a great time, not alive with pleasure. He is not doing well. That is a depressed monkey. And that is because he is sedentary of body, mind, and spirit. But anyways, okay, so humans have become like zoo animals. It's like we've forgotten what to do with ourselves, because like things like technology has kind of like enabled us. It's made us so lazy. And that's kind of like the freaky thing is like, if you look at like AI, like every time you ask ChatGPT a question, I'm assuming it's getting smarter. Meanwhile, a lot of humans won't even have the attention span to sit down and like watch this like 46-minute YouTube video. But a robot could do it and analyze it and give you a summary of it in like 2 minutes, if that, 30 seconds probably. You know, so it's like humans were becoming lazy. Like if we're not careful, we're going to be slaves to the robots. And like I was joking about this the other day, but like the person on Tumblr who was like projecting onto me and trying to make their insecurities and like their emotions and whatever and their inability to process their own triggers and whatever, like my problem, I was like, look, we can do this for 40 days and nights if you want. Like, we can do this until you're blue in the face, and I'll still be right and you'll still be mad. And in that time, like, you know, I'm like, God is going to instruct me to build an ark, and like, I'm going to get 2 of every animal, and he's just going to wipe the earth clean because he's sick of your guys' bullshit. Like, God did not put us here to be lazy. God did not create us to be sloppy babies. God did not create us to let our hormone monsters run the show. That is the devil. Your hormone monster is the devil, okay? So put Marty in the closet, put on your big boy pants, and get out here and fight the war on fear with me, please. And don't take pictures of women under their dress on the train. Just treat women with respect. Treat people with kindness. Didn't Harry Styles tell us that a few years ago? But before you always treat others with kindness, of course, but like, treat yourself with kindness. Give yourself the respect you deserve. A few months ago, I made a video talking about we accept the love we think we deserve. And when I was talking in that one, I was saying kind of like, it's not even just about, you know, the love from others. A lot of people don't accept love from themselves because they don't think they deserve it. And you have to know you do. God loves you, but not enough to save you if you don't love yourself. Okay? So just some things to think about. Again, I know this message is, not everyone's going to want to hear it, but it has to be said. Someone's got to say it. I'm the people's princess, okay? I'm here for you. I support you. I have been where you've been. And I'm telling you this, I'm genuinely telling you this because I love you. Anyone who enables you to stay stuck is an enemy. That is not your friend. And I suggest you put some distance between you and the people that enable you. Or have some candid conversations. It doesn't even always have to be distance. You can just have candid conversations and you can say, hey, I'm trying to change my life. And I don't want to continue this pattern. So can you help hold me accountable? And if there's anything in their life that they need you to hold them accountable for. You know, that's what we can do for each other, is hold each other accountable and show up as our best selves to inspire one another. But we, the people, we need people who feel good about themselves and feel good about life. And so that's what I'm out here doing. I'm enjoying life. I'm alive with pleasure. And I hope to see some of you joining me soon. Bye.